Today we're going to talk about factoring with the difference of perfect squares in GCFs. So these four are all difference of perfect squares, but you're going to have to learn how to recognize them. So they have a couple things in common. One is that they all have an x squared, so they have to be quadratic. So they are all quadratic. That word difference means subtraction. So another thing they all have in common is they all have a minus sign. So they all have a minus sign. All right, that word perfect square, those are numbers like 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, dot, dot, dot. So 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25. Those are called your perfect squares. So all numbers are perfect squares. And the last thing they have in common is that there is no b value. There we go. So there is no b value. So if you remember, we were working with ax squared plus bx plus c. So they're missing this middle term. They only have the a value and the c value. So let's go ahead and factor these. So if I take a look at letter A, x squared minus 4, I mean, really the b value is 0. So if we write 0x, we could do that. This is a difference of two squares. It's an x squared. I see a minus sign. 4 is a square number. So the way this factors is x plus and x minus. So I know the signs are different because the only way I get a negative 4 is if the signs are different. So now the square root of 4 is 2. So it's x plus 2, x minus 2. So let's see what happens when we check. So the first give me x squared. The outers give me minus 2x. The inners give me plus 2x, and then the last give me minus 4. Oh, the inners and outers cancel and make 0, so we're left with x squared minus 4. All right, so let's try b. Remember, there is a b value. It just happens to be 0. The inners and the outers are going to cancel. So I'm going to set it up, parenthesis times parenthesis, the x and the x, because that gives me x squared. The signs have to be opposite, because the only way two numbers will multiply to negative 25 is if one's plus one's minus. But I specifically want the square root of 25, which is 5. So x plus 5, x minus 5. Now watch what happens when we check. X times x is x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. 5 times x is positive 5x. And 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. The inners and the outers cancel. One is negative 5x, one is positive 5x. That's how we get the 0. And we're done. All right, last one. So this is a difference of two squares. 9x squared is a square number. The square root of 9x squared is 3x. 3x times 3x will make 9x squared. The signs always have to be 1 plus, 1 minus. Now the square root of 49 is 7. So both have to be exactly the same factors, except one is a plus sign and one is a minus sign. That's important because I want the inners and the outers to cancel. So when I check, 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times negative 7 is negative 21x. 7 times 3x is positive 21x. And then the 7 times negative 7 makes negative 49. All right, so the inners and the outers cancel, and I'm just left with 9x squared minus 49, which is what I wanted. All right, last thing. Can we factor x squared plus 4? So is that a difference of 2 squares? Well, I know the square root of 4 is 2 and 2, but if I wanted to multiply to positive 4, my signs have to be plus plus. My inners give me 2x. My outers, give me 2x. No, those did not cancel. That would have given me 4x. So this one is not a difference of 2 squares. No, the inners and outers do not cancel. It has to be a minus sign, hence the name the difference of 2 squares. All right, so I know I'm kind of working to your number 4 checklist, but I'm just going to erase this, restart. So I wanted to make this graphic organizer for you, so when we factor, you want to check it off one by one. The first thing you always want to do is factor out the GCF, if possible. So now we've had binomials, so the 2 terms, and we've had trinomials, 3 terms. Your trinomials have always been in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So now if it's a binomial, check if it's a difference of 2 squares. If it is, then you do want to factor. If it's not a difference of 2 squares, then you are done factoring. Okay, if it's a trinomial and your a value is 1, you are going to factor it into the parentheses times parentheses, but I know it's x times x. Then you're going to check the signs. And then you're going to pick the factors of c that add to b. Okay, so factors of c that add to b. Now, if a is greater than 1, these are the ones you hate, the guess and the check. When you factor it, it's going to be ax in parentheses times x. You still want to check your signs if they're plus plus, minus minus, plus minus. You still want the factors of c, but now you just guess and check. So that your inners and outers will get you back to what you started.